Big voice. KWTN 100.9 FM. Allen, Nebraska. The official radio station of the Winnebago tribe.
Took me for granted. Don't recognize you anymore. Once sweet and caring, now cold and calculated. You can't be trusted. You want the world for your own. You want maximum profit. You lost perspective. I won't give you direction. You're always restless. Want me to fix your
Hello. There we are. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all you beautiful people out there. Welcome to Winnebago Talks. I am Bethani Redhorn, the Communications Office Manager, and I will be your host for Winnebago Talks today. I am joined here in the studio with...
Good morning, everyone. I am Tyler Snake, the Winnebago Indian News Office Circulation Manager.
All right, and so Tyler will be helping me co-host for today's episode. We do have some special guests that will be joining us. We have some ladies that are over here from the Winnebago Public Health Nursing Department, and then we also have we have a special guest popping in who's going to talk about some post-prom activities that'll be coming up. And then we'll get into some Winnebago Indian News updates as well. I don't have any trivia, so we might be off
Brian
the hook
does.
today.
He'll
Oh,
be
does
back.
it?
Yeah.
I'm scared. Just kidding. Shaking
We're
in
not
my
off the
boots. But just want to make sure my levels are coming through okay. And so today we'll talk about some things with our special guest. We'll get into some updates, some things that have been going on with the big boys, the newspaper, and communications in general, some activities that's been going on throughout the community as well. And we will start off with sending things over to Tyler here, who can talk about the Winnebago Indian News.
Didn't last week, we didn't do our show last week, right?
Last week.
If I remember right.
Yeah, we were here last week.
Actually, I must have been not really here. No. But for my bagel bits, I don't remember if I did them or not.
No,
so
you didn't, because I remember you said that you forgot to grab the paper,
Yeah,
so we didn't really get into them.
I remembered this time. But so I did two of them this week or last week, and one was about the, what do you call it? Winter market at Woodland Trails. It's sort of the winter version of the farmers market. So it's indoors, cold weather, whatnot. But it gives a chance for our local vendors around town. They cook, they sew, they bead. There's all their services are available there. So, and I believe it follows the bi-weekly W.I.N pay schedule.
Oh, okay.
So, when you get a chance, stop over there and support our local vendors.
That's awesome that they get to utilize that during the winter months as well.
It's a team effort, which is pretty cool. And I believe Little Priest also collabs with that. And they're doing a
the
good
extension.
job.
Cool.
And then our second one is David Winget Jr. He plays at Peru State College for the Bobcats, and he scored his 1,000th career point. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and then they also will be playing in the championship playoffs. I'm not real in the know of the terminology that they use, but I do know that they are going to be playing down in Wichita, Kansas, I believe. And if I'm wrong, correct me, but we were trying to make our way down there to cover that, but the NAIA, they have the exclusive rights over all of that, so we're just unable to go cover that. But it would have been really awesome for the big boys to go down there. But any other updates going on with the WIN? You guys have any deadlines coming up?
We do have our deadline today, so if anybody wants to jump in the next issue and become a WIN contributor or put an ad in or anything, you could just reach out to me at tyler.snake@winnebagotribe.com. For those who get the WIN and want to update their address, they could email me there, or you just want to get a paper, anything, let me know.
Okay, cool. And then I also wanted to kind of touch on this. I know that the Winnebago Indian News Facebook page is pretty frequent with the updates that's going on over there for the tribal administration. And so, yeah, they'll be moving. So the drop box in the Blackhawk Community Center will no longer be available after March 15th, 2024 due to the construction that will be taking place. So the finance department will be located in the back on the west side of the Blackhawk Center by the week ending March 22nd, 2024. So if you would like to make a payment in person, otherwise you can mail your payments to Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska, Attention Finance. That's P.O. Box 687, Winnebago, Nebraska 68071. And so they're also moving the tribal council, and so I wanted to kind of talk about that real quick because last week I didn't get to display that. So right here is where let me see here. This is going to be the temporary site for the tribal council and administration offices. The address is 920 North Mission Drive, and they will be here until February 2025. Once the move is completed, it will begin next week. It began last week. So, wait, no, this week. It begins this week. She's just ahead of myself. But they'll be moving over there to the building that's across from the Ho-Chunk Language Department, so Ho-Chunk Renaissance. And so just wanted to kind of relay that a little bit. But we are going to go ahead and switch gears here, and we're going to invite our first set of guests up. And so while the ladies come on up, I wanted to run through a quick run through. So the programming that we have here on the Big Voice on Monday. So if you did not know, every first Monday of the month, we have a podcast that is called Indigenous Voice. It is hosted by Sandy Mackey Scott II and Shilese Porter. They are with the Society of Care and Morningstar Counseling collaboration for that podcast. It's every first Monday of the month. We have Winnebago Talks every Tuesday at 11 a.m. And then Monday, Wednesday, and Friday over the noon hour, we have the Big Hour. And so I'll kind of get more into that after the discussion with our special guest. But I just wanted to relay that the month of March is Women's History Month. So when I host the Big Hour, I like to do artist spotlights. And so with my spotlights for the month of March, I'll just be doing spotlights on female artists. So if you have any favorites out there, I am taking recommendations, so you can send those to me. And so go ahead and introduce our special guests here. So we have some ladies returning from last week. I will allow you each to go ahead and run through your introductions. So we'll start with Sandy.
Hi, I'm Sandy Anderson, and I am a public health nurse in Winnebago. I work with our new mothers and during pregnancy and afterwards.
All right, welcome, Sandy.
Hi, my name is Jordan Blackfish. I'm the administrative assistant for Public Health Nursing Department, and I work with our PHN, so I also get to assist Sandy when she is working with clients too.
Awesome, welcome, Jordan.
Good morning. I'm Melanie Tuomoheloa. I'm the primary care clinic manager over at the hospital, and I get to see moms during their pregnancy for checkups, and then after they have their babies too. So
awesome. Welcome, Melanie.
Thank you.
Ladies, you're here to kind of discuss some of the care that goes into prenatal checkups and all that kind of stuff. Could you kind of get into some of the details of what that looks like?
Sure. I'll actually kind of pass that on to Melanie because she deals with that every day as far as appointment system. Yeah. So if patients want to come in for appointments, we recently changed our phone system at the hospital, and so we do have a new main hospital number. It's 402-745-3950, and somebody will answer the phone and then ask you who you're trying to get in contact with. So they'll transfer you to a different extension. People would just ask for the appointment desk, and then they can get their appointments scheduled that way.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
And then they also have an ER number I wanted to kind of relay. So any emergencies, you can dial 911, but they also have 402-745-3951. And so with that, I know that we were kind of talking a little bit before the show started today. And so you wanted to kind of familiarize our listeners with like the process of going in, like maybe someone is going in for the first time or something. Like how could they kind of balance that, or if they have any questions, how should they go about that?
That was actually, we were having a big discussion about that, remembering that first time that we made an appointment all by ourselves. Really, the biggest barrier at that point was just dialing the phone and talking to some stranger on the other side. So that's one of the things that we really want to focus on too, is to make sure that our young people know how to dial into the hospital, who to ask for, and as Melanie said, asking for the appointment desk, and then telling the person behind the desk what type of appointment that you need. And a lot of the times that is really super intimidating. So we like to make that process as easy as possible, and as welcoming as possible.
Yeah.
So once we get the person in the door, then a whole other set of anxieties can hit. Where do I go? What do I say? Where do I sit? They may have been there 100 times with their parent, but all of a sudden it feels new and different. So we
Definitely want them to be greeted with a warm smile and have all of our patients know we're excited that you're here. Like, we're happy to serve you. We're happy that you're coming in to get whatever it is that you need. So in this case, the prenatal appointments, like, we can't stress that enough. We're there to take care of our patients, and happy to see you. So we definitely want that warm welcome feeling for them, but it is a little bit nerve-wracking. So for first appointments, confirmation of pregnancy, they will usually come in and see their, we call it PCP, so primary care provider, so whoever they're impaneled to. They can make that appointment, and they'll do a urine pregnancy test through the lab, and then just confirm how far along they are. We were trying to think of all the things, the little list that Jordan has of reminders to help them with their appointments.
Yeah. Actually, it's on the poster that you're pulling up.
Yeah.
Bethany. It's a user's guide to kind of help start that conversation with your provider. Just some things to think about before you go into your appointment, so that you're not feeling off guard when they ask you questions like, when was your last menstrual cycle? What are the symptoms that you're having? And when did they start? And how many days? Having that actually noted down before you come into your appointment, so then you're able to answer those questions and feel more confident while you're talking to your provider.
Yeah. It's good to have things written down, just because when you're sitting in there with a provider, they're going to be asking you a bunch of questions, and you're going to be like, oh, I forgot to ask this, as soon as you leave. And so having little notes is super helpful when you come in. So after that first confirmation of pregnancy, they'll be seen again about 12 weeks and do a whole slew of labs. So part of that is doing like an H&H, checking your blood levels, doing antibody screens, checking for any sexually transmitted infections also, because if somebody comes in with those, we want to make sure we get those treated right away so that they don't have effects on the baby. And then just seeing if we need to do any other referrals to like high risk. So a couple different things that would determine that would be like if you already have diabetes, if you're over 35, if you have high blood pressure, if you're having multiples, so like if you're having twins or triplets, things like that, we want to get you in to see a specialist also. So with that confirmation of pregnancy, I mentioned that you usually see your primary care provider. We have a group that comes in, University of Iowa is who we partner with, and they come down every Thursday afternoon for appointments in the clinic, and they do all of our OB care from 20 weeks and on, unless somebody is coming in with those diabetes, they want to see them sooner. Diabetes or high blood pressure, they definitely want to see them sooner too. So but yeah, that's a little bit about the first trimester. Those appointments are supposed to be every 4 weeks. So as soon as you are thinking, oh, I missed my cycle, or I might be pregnant, come in and get checked. We'll get it figured out with you. Like, we're there to help. We're there to answer questions. We want to be a good resource and provide that service. So
absolutely, yeah, and what we'd like to look at as far as the number of times that people come in for their prenatal appointments really varies, and we kind of talked about this last week. You know, in those first few weeks or those first few months of pregnancy, it's like once a month you come in, and then it all of a sudden at about 28 weeks it goes to every 2 to 3 weeks, and then once you hit 36 weeks along, you're there every single week. And that's good to know ahead of time, because many of our moms work, and they need to be able to get the time off to arrange their schedules and that sort of thing. So it's really important that they do some planning in their own head too. When they're looking at their prenatal care. We'd like to see that they, during their pregnancy, come and see their doctor anywhere between 10 and 14 times. And that sounds like a lot, but it really isn't. Each one of those appointments are so important, and there's specific things that those providers will teach them during those times. So.
Yeah, lots of labs. We do lots of lab checks, and then ultrasound is about at anywhere between 20 and 26 weeks. We can do like an anatomy screen, so if baby's cooperating, you might be able to tell the sex of the baby too at that time. But also like certain immunizations too that we give at certain times during the pregnancy. So I have a little cheat sheet that we use in the clinic, and it just has everything kind of mapped out. So we want to make sure that when you're coming in, we're checking the boxes and we're getting everything done at each appointment that we're supposed to make sure mom is healthy and baby's healthy.
That is really good information to know. And then I was kind of thinking, as you're discussing that, maybe there's like a first time mom out there and she's just like unsure of everything. She's, scared. Maybe she doesn't have like a supportive family at home or something like that, that kind of situation. How could they maybe reach out for help in that, in that sense?
So we try to have one main nurse for each of our providers, including the prenatal appointments, the University of Iowa providers. So one main nurse, she gets to know all of our patients. You'll get to know her. They build that trust during that time. But we also have a case manager in the clinic. Her name's Shayna. She's wonderful. So whoever's calling in, call and talk to any of our nurses. Just ask for the nurses station in the clinic, and somebody will get on the phone. My name's Melanie. You can call me if you want. I'll get you in contact with the right person. We're there to help, even if you don't have a phone or you there's other situations going on where you don't feel comfortable making that call. Come to the clinic and say, I just want to speak to a nurse, and we will get you back and get you taken care of.
Good.
Absolutely. And also, if they wanted to just reach out to me too with public health nursing, just call the regular number, ask for Sandy in public health nursing, and I'll basically walk you through every single step of that. If you don't have anybody to be with you, I have many times gone to appointments with patients and kind of walk them through that process until they're comfortable, or they have somebody that is going to support them with them. So,
Sandy spends a lot of time in our clinic. We're always happy to see her. So,
I think that's really great that you said that, Sandy, because a lot of the times you are kind of feeling nervous, even like coming to the and I like, Melanie, that you said just say, can I speak to a nurse? Because sometimes when you're calling to make that appointment and you're like, man, I don't want to have to tell you all of this, like I just want to like speak to somebody. So I like that you said that. And also, Sandy, you saying that coming to the appointment, because on here on the sheet it even talked about like some of the questions, like asking, is there a test I can take to rule out any serious problems, and then like writing down everything so you understand what your provider is talking to you about. Because there's so many times I've left the doctor's office and I'm like, I remember at that moment, but then when I have to tell my mom or tell like a family member, I'm like, what, I can't remember what they said,
Yep.
So I like that you said that, Sandy. That's really helpful.
during the first appointment also, they get a really nice book. And even if people wanted to bring that into their appointments, I think there's a note section in there that we could help you write things down just so you can remember.
Yeah, absolutely. That book is really invaluable. It goes through all the way from, pre-pregnancy, contraception, that kind of thing, to finding out you're pregnant, It has all of these questions that you can ask your provider, a place to write those responses. It goes all the way into after the baby is born, with the postpartum and childcare and what to do with your newborn. It's got an entire section on breastfeeding. So that book, even though it's like a notebook, okay, so it's not something you can slip in your pocket, but it is got tons and tons of information, and it's very user friendly too. It's not like one of those boring ones that it just kind of gives you a bunch of words and messages and stuff. There's a lot of pictures for examples and different things that really help to make it make sense. So, and again, you know, those are the types of educational materials that we like to give out to our new moms. I was actually discussing with Melanie this morning, you know, after thinking about what we're going to talk about today, and thinking, you know what, wouldn't it be nice if we had like a little pocket notebook or something that we can give the moms at that first prenatal visit, that they can track their appointments, they can have a little place to jot notes, those types of things. So I think that's probably something that we'll look into to purchasing for our new moms. And you know, and this is kind of how we come to decide what we're going to purchase and buy for our moms. Is we get in groups like this and we go, well, hey, wouldn't it be nice if they had, or can we find something like, and we'd like suggestions from our parents too, because you know it works for you, and if it's something that may work out really well for everyone, you know, and we can fund it, we're going to be looking at it. So
that's really awesome, because at the same time, when you're talking about that notebook, I'm thinking like it'd be a good resource to like kind of go back to reflect throughout that time of being, you know, the pregnancy and stuff. So,
kind of a diary.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking of it.
Yeah.
So then with all of that, kind of get into a little bit more personal. Kind of introduce yourselves a little bit, like get to know you on how long you've been with the public health nursing. Could you kind of tell us a little bit about yourself?
I've been with public health nursing for over 24 years. My career really has been focused on maternal child health. I've worked with labor and delivery and high risk prenatal and postpartum units. So it's kind of my love in nursing. I guess, you know, this has been my niche when it comes to what I like to do, and I love the clients that I work with, and the things that I do.
So then when I'm thinking of that, Sandy, you've been with the public health nursing for quite some time. Could you kind of maybe explain a little bit of the changes that have happened throughout the years, like some of the advancements and some things that maybe you have now that you didn't have before? And
well, I think the focus is always changing. I work under a block grant for the state of Nebraska. It's a maternal child health block grant. That's what mostly funds all of the things that we do for our new parents. And throughout the years, we've you know, switch things up as far as looking at the needs of the community, see what community members need, see what the focus is on that time, look to see, you know, are we seeing these sorts of problems more than others, then we'll focus on those. So it's an ever-changing work plan, really. But the bottom line is our work plan that is pretty consistent over the years is looking at funding and focusing on breastfeeding, child safety with car seat and crib safety, safe sleeping, as well as just prenatal care, making sure that our moms are coming in for care, that they're educated, that they have all of the resources available to them. So
it's awesome. How about you, Jordan?
Oh, no. Where's my story begin? No. I feel like I've kind of been all over. But I will say that, you know, mainly I went to school for early childhood here at Little Peach Tribal College, and I've worked a lot in early childhood. And I took some time off, and I actually went and got my CNA. I worked at St. Luke's for like two years, I would say, as a CNA, and I was right underneath the nurses. And a lot of that, kind of like what Stormy was saying, is I'm seeing patients like when everything is already like, you know, going kind of, you know, you're having issues. You're in there for, you know, maybe your heart, or maybe you're having, you know, whatever issues. So I'm seeing like a lot of like, it made me really look at and reflect on my life, honestly. I was like, oh my gosh, like I really need to take care of myself, you know? And so I went back to early childhood, and I was working, I wanted to just finish school. And after I finished school, I was working at the museum, at the Angel Corridor Museum, and which I think was like a really good door for me because I learned a lot more about the community than just being here and working in the community.
Yep.
I learned the history, Ho-Chunk history, and I learned, oh my God, just so much. Like I could just keep going on and on, so I won't do that. But, and then I worked for Project Launch for a little while, and that was with early childhood, and that was really cool seeing that grant kind of unfold and all the beautiful things that came out of that, and seeing all of what they were doing in the community. I think the word that stuck with me the most, though, and what brought me here is sustainability. And so when I got this position as administrative assistant working with our PHNs, I'm on that flip side now of like working with, you know, preventative care and like helping our nurses see like what Sandy had said, okay, where's the need and how do we do this, you know? So like looking at these grants and like letting them unfold and see like, wow, like this is sustainability. This is what sustainability looks like. Like I can leave and know, I'm sure Sandy's probably gonna feel great, you know, leave knowing that this is going to continue, that this education is going to continue, and that's really where, like, that's how you build sustainability. So, yeah, I really love where I'm at right now. It's a little different for me because I feel like I'm sitting next to two ladies that are just, like, have the amount of knowledge that they're holding in their head every single day is just insane. Even Sandy, if you ask her about a grant, she can just unfold every objective for you, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, you know. So it's really interesting, and she's not just doing one grant, you know. It's like multiple. So like I feel like I'm just like boom, 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 boom. But I love the fast-paced work. It's something that I enjoy because I'm busy all day long. So yeah. But
Awesome.
I'm going to interject just a little bit here. Jordan is our right hand, and she keeps us on track and keeps us motivated and keeps us focused. If we didn't have that, we would be all out there. So, for sure.
I just want to add in there real quick. We got to collaborate when you worked with Angel Decor Museum. We got to collaborate when you worked with Project Launch.
Yeah.
And so now we're collaborating on this project as well, which I'm really happy to see you just, you know, thriving in your area. So
Yeah, thank you.
glad that we were able to connect on this one.
Yeah.
And so Melanie, how about you?
So I'm Melanie Tomoheloa. My maiden name is Gilpin, and I'm an Umaha tribal member. So my background is I went to Creighton for nursing school. I was a recipient of the IHS scholarship, so very fortunate there.
Awesome.
And that took me to Gallup, New Mexico for 3.5 years and worked down there at an IHS facility and absolutely loved it, but I was homesick. So moved back home to Omaha with my family and worked down there for 7 years at a big hospital. And knew it was time for a change and wanted to get back into caring for natives and wanted to stick in the hospital systems because my background is all inpatient. So in the hospital setting when patients were admitted to the hospital. So came up to interview for a position in the hospital and was asked about the clinic position. And so I feel like everything works out just like it's supposed to.
Definitely.
And I just feel so incredibly blessed to be here. I enjoy it. I get to work with amazing people every day, like the coworkers, the patients, meet people all the time, and it just fills my bucket. Like my heart is full. So happy to be here. I've been at the clinic for a little over a year now, and just Sandy will call me up and she'll be like, hey, what do you think about this? Do you want to do this? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So I'm partnering with her and the public health department on a couple different grants, and I think it's amazing just all the resources that are here and that we can provide for our patients, and just trying to do better and better every single day for our patients, because that's what they deserve. They deserve the best care. So happy to be here.
Well, I love that, ladies. Thank you all for sharing a bit of yourself and some of your insight on your areas. Before we conclude the portion for today, because you will be back next week with some more information, any shout-outs?
Just shout out to primary care and public health nursing department, and I want to shout out Bobby too, Bobby Wolf, and the health and education department, and Serenity Drew. They help out a lot, even though we're kind of in different areas. They're always jumping in there and helping with whatever. So I wanted to shout them out.
Awesome.
Oh, absolutely, Serenity. Serenity is such a huge portion of what we do. She is our budget analyst for the public health department, and she keeps track of all the money. And as you know, that grants come with money and come with, how to spend money in particular ways. And she is our expert and keeps us online. Anytime we want something under a grant, we're like, Serenity, do I have money? And she'll let us know. Or if we give her a request, she'll go, no, you don't have any money, or no, you can't do that. So she is absolutely fantastic to keep us on track with our money. So.
Awesome.
I have to shout out to the primary care team because every time Sandy's like, hey, do you want to do this? I'm always just like, yeah, let's do it. And, my team is always just like, okay, we're doing something new, but they're all on board. So I appreciate all of them and just the hospital in general.
Yep.
Awesome.
Absolutely, that they're so flexible.
Yeah.
So.
That's good. Well, ladies, we shall see you again next week, and thank you for coming up and sharing that with our listeners today. And then maybe if they needed to reach out again, how could they get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of me through email. Even if you call that main line and you ask for Jordan Blackfish, they'll just send you right to my direct line. It'll go right to my phone. So
Absolutely.
Yep, main line. People probably can't pronounce my last name, Tuamohiloa, so just Melanie T in the clinic. You can get a hold of me.
Melanie T.
Yep.
I love how you say your last name. It's so beautiful.
It is so beautiful, isn't it?
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm the same. Just the main line, ask for Sandy in public health nursing, and they'll transfer you directly to me. Most of the moms that I are already working with, have worked in the past, whatever, probably have my work cell number because I get texts all the time and all of that. So, yeah.
All right. And then just to reiterate, that main line, it's 402-745-3950. All right, ladies, thank you so much for coming up. Have a beautiful rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's nice hearing from you. I feel like I'm such a quiet, like I'm just a listener more than a talker, Just taking in all the info.
Get to take it all in.
I'm the quietest co-host ever. Feel like a fly on the wall.
It's all right. Whenever
sometimes.
DJ Guaranteed's here, that's how I am. I'm like just the filler.
Oh, we're nodding.
Yep. I'm like, But we do have our Winnebago Indian News editor in the house. And so just to relay, I was running through some of the programming that we have. So we also have, I mentioned Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we have the big hour. So Tuesday, we get into Winnebago Talks. Wednesday, the big hour. The sports show's still on a brief hiatus, so hopefully we'll be able to bring that back within the coming months. And then Thursday, I have All Requests Live.
Yep.
MCBKC over here has Res Ride, and then we have Baby Bison Beats with new episodes on Thursday evenings.
Awesome.
How are you today?
Good. How are you? I apologize. I sound like I'm a little bit hot there. Am I? Yeah. I'm a little bit closer to the mic than the ladies were. And then I also heard Tyler's comment. While she is a listener, I am not. So
Yeah, more of
I'm
a-
ready to talk. No, just kidding.
Yes.
Say.
Yes, it happened. But we have a lot of course, good programming here at KWTN 100.9 FM. For those of you listening on terrestrial radio, I was at a different meeting. As you guys know, and you did start off, there's a lot of movement happening here with the Winnebago Tribe. The administrative offices inside the Black Hawk Community Center are on the move. And so that information is everywhere. You can go to our social media, the Winnebago Tribe, the Winnebago Indian News. Everyone that's out there is putting it out there, so you shouldn't say, where are they? You know where they are.
I didn't know.
Yes, they're moving. And then also one of the important factors that we know a lot of people are going to ask, and if it's already been said, forgive me guys, but the U.S. Post Office is not moving. So the post office will be accessible during the entire renovation of the Black Hawk Community Center. So you guys will still be able to go down and get your mail every day. You'll still be able to buy your money orders and mail your parcels and do whatever you do. The post office is not moving.
Except
be
Tammy
staying.
is moving, correct?
Tammy, yeah, all
Yeah.
of the administration is, but the post office, they are staying put. So
It's a good reminder.
Absolutely.
I think we mentioned it last week, but I didn't even.
No
it
problem.
slipped my mind.
No problem. I know there's a lot of stuff there, guys. You know, and I'm just saying that very jokingly. You know, people are going to get confused. But if you need to see where we are, go to our social media or just email us, and we'll give you a shout out. Where did they go? So the Tribal Council is in the Monsignor's house, or as they're calling now, the haunted house. But they're going to rename it into something else.
Yeah.
Tribal Credit is going into the higher education trailer, which is up here in our local area, and Tribal Finance is going back to their original home. For those of us who are old enough to remember, they are going to be on the back side of the Whirling Thunder Wellness Gymnasium in the Ho Chunk Hope classroom. That's where they first were, guys. Well, at least from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And well, I shouldn't say that maybe all the way back, because I went to Head Start in that room.
Really? I didn't even know they had Head Start over there.
Yes. I'm old, but I'm not that old. No, just kidding. So.
I did put up a visual of the higher education building if you're not familiar with it.
Right, and that one is not haunted. No, just kidding.
I don't know. No, just kidding.
Not yet. No.
It's in the vicinity of our area.
Yes.
We have a little loop up here, so you come up and then come around the bend, and they all have signs on the buildings.
All the addresses are here. This is North Mission Drive, and so just come up here, hit the loop, and you'll find one of us. So, and then also, I think, if I'm not mistaken, we do and are still going to do the Answer Is today.
Yeah, I thought we was almost off the hook, and then Tyler reminded me.
No, I got to remember, though, did I ask you guys these questions? I can't remember. If not, I came up with new ones. So.
Okay, just in case.
Yeah.
Well, in the background, we have a gentleman here that is going to join us, and he's going to talk about a big announcement. Involves the youth. But I did have a visual displayed of where those tribal admin, the tribal council. I don't have a visual for the finance, but you should know where that's at in the back of the Blackhawk Community Center.
Right.
And so, hello, sir.
Hello. Good. Is it morning or afternoon? Morning still, right?
Good day.
Good morning. Hi, Pete.
We sprang ahead, but we're still morning.
Yeah. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fabulous.
Good.
And so you're here to discuss a update with collaboration effort.
So yeah, I have two updates. One pertaining to post prom for the WPS high school students, and just updating that, and then also a brief update on the academy for upcoming rising freshmen for next year. Where do you want me to start, man?
Let's start with the post-prom, since that's coming up this weekend, correct?
Okay. Yeah, so a crazy thing this year, post-prom is scheduled a little bit earlier than usual. Usually prom's around April time, but due to busy schedules, basketball tournaments, some powwows on the weekends of April, just kind of feedback from parents and students, the school decided to have the prom this coming Saturday. And so Boys and Girls Club, they always put on the post prom, and so we kind of didn't realize prom was fastly approaching, and we wanted to get the word out. But yeah, there is going to be a post prom this year, and it's going to be this Saturday at the Whirling Thunder Wellness Center.
I like your sign.
Yeah, I think Allie from Boys and Girls Club put that together. Put it together really great. Yeah, really eye catching. And so, just want to get the word out that we're still having post prom. It's happening, and it'll be at the Rolling Thunder Gym. Doors will open at 11 and then closing at 11:30. And we'll go all the way till 5 in the morning. And so we'll have different activities, different door prizes. We also will be feeding as well. And I believe we're going to be having a magician too. So
cool.
Yeah, we're really encouraging our high schoolers to come and attend. And one thing we did want to make sure that our students know and our parents know as well, there's going to be a permission slip that they need to sign and complete. And we're taking those until Friday, end of business day at 5 p.m. Those can be found at the Boys and Girls Club at the club, or you can contact that on the flyer there too. But yeah, the permission slips will be there, and also be at the school as well at the front desk. So we need those before you can participate, and it's important to get those in right away. But one thing we do want the parents and students to know too as well is once you're at the event, it's basically a lock-in, but you can leave anytime. It's not like we're gonna hold you hostage. But the thing is, you either have to be transported home by our staff, or your parent or guardian needs to come pick you up. You can't drive down there, or you can't leave on your own, just for safety
like someone
reasons.
pick you up or something.
Yeah.
That's good.
And so that we just want to make sure the students and families know that, just for safety reasons and things like that.
Good. Okay. Yeah, I kind of thought the prom was coming up pretty quickly. I was talking to my apprentices yesterday, Tyler and Zane, and yeah, they're pretty excited. So.
Yeah. So we're excited to have our kids, and it's gonna be a good time. Just we're gonna have, like I said, ice cream socials, some dodgeball, 3-on-3 gaming tournaments. We're trying to find a lot of things just to keep them there, busy and occupied. And then we'll send them home with breakfast too. So, yeah.
That's always good.
Yeah, definitely. Make them nice and full.
Speaking of breakfast, where's ours now?
I know. Stomach's gonna be growling pretty soon.
Right?
She had a Red Bull. Nah.
Oh yeah, nice and full.
That liquid diet.
Oh my god.
So, Academy.
Yeah, so there's been kind of some chatter out there with the Academy, and the Academy's been here for a while now, and there's some changes coming and some much needed formation and some kind of adjustments that are being made. But previously we used to start taking students in 7th and 8th grade to be into the Academy, and then they would transition to the high school. But we quit doing that last year. We weren't taking 7th graders or 8th graders anymore. So our 7th graders last year, now they're 8th graders. And so they're kind of like the last grandfathered in middle school students.
Okay.
But I'm here to announce that we do have some spots open for rising freshmen. So if your student is in 8th grade right now, and they're not in that grandfathered group for the Academy, they can submit an application and possibly get their student into the Academy program. And those applications, they can be found at the front desk of the school, or you can contact Jamie Pixler too. She has a copy of those, and she also will be sending some copies home with the 8th graders. So there's just some items in there that the student has to complete, and also the parents there. But going forward, so next year, that's kind of how the process is going to be. The Academy will start at 9th grade and no longer be in the 7th and 8th grade. But just want to share the opportunity with the community that if they're have a 8th grader that's interested in being in the Academy next year, to get those applications in. And this is a new kind of new thing that we decided, and the deadline for that is this Friday, the March what is it, 5th? Is it 15th?
Yep.
March 15th. So those are due this Friday as well. You can submit those to Jamie Pixler or submit them to the front desk, and we'll be reviewing those applications in the next few weeks. And then by middle of April, you should know if your student is accepted into the Academy.
Okay. And then you guys recently went on a trip. Is that correct, for the Academy?
Yeah, so that's like one of the great opportunities and perks of being in the Academy. They get to go on these trips to. They think it's just like vacation, but really they go out there and they visit different college campuses, and they have to go and do some educational activities and things out there. But yeah, recently we went to Florida. We went to the Seminole Powwow down there. We went to the University of Tampa, I think it was. I can't remember. The Tampa. I don't want to say Tampa Bay, but maybe it is. I'm not sure. But we went there, and then just kind of got to see the Seminole and their culture and things like that. And then they got to experience the beach and just some of the culture in Florida. So really good experience. And so each year the Academy students, they get to fundraise and kind of plan where they want to go for their trip. But yeah, that's just another opportunity that our Academy students get to be a part of.
Cool. Well, thanks, DJ Macatak, for coming on and relaying some of those updates for the youth. If they have any questions about the post-prom, how can they get a hold of you again?
So they can contact me if they want. They have me on the socials or anything like that. But the contact is also on the flyer there. If they want to call the number there, was it 402-878-2112.
All right, and that's for the post-prom, which is going to be kicking off 11:30 and ending promptly at 5 a.m.
Yep, and then at 5 a.m. we'll be giving rides home too, so they'll have a ride home as well. Yep.
Okay, so transportation is provided as well.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So, we have can I request a little update about IV, Indigenous Voice?
Oh, yeah. So we will. I was like, IV, what? Yeah, so we will be back the first Monday of next month. So what is that? April 4th, 5th.
You're never gonna guess. Made you guess.
I
It's
know.
April 1st.
Oh, first, is it really?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So April Fool's Day. Yeah, so we'll be back that day, Monday. Is it really or no?
It is.
Oh, okay, I thought you were joking with me.
April
Yanking my
Fool's.
chain.
So early April Fools. Just kidding. No, but really it is.
Okay,
First,
yeah. So we'll be back in that month. I think we're gonna be focusing on substance abuse with alcohol and drugs and things like that. And just want to throw that out to listeners too. If you have any Native youth between the ages of 15 to 25, we call that transitional youth age. If they have any feedback, or if they want to come in and be a part of those conversations, we always welcome that to come in and be a part of that podcast there. It's a really powerful conversation. We really love hearing from the youth and their perspectives and just engage in that conversation. So if you're interested in that, you can reach out to me too at sandy.scott@indigeducation. That's INDIGUCATION.org. Yeah, so if you want, we encourage that. Come along, and they're always good conversations. DJ Bethany is always there, and she can speak to that too. Just great
Yes,
conversations, much
definitely.
needed conversations.
Yes, and then I also want to kind of pick your brain a little bit. You said indigeducation.
Yeah.
Can we kind of talk about that a little bit? You want to tell them about your big venture?
Oh yeah, I wasn't gonna come on here and
Just
talk
kicking me
about
under
that,
the
but
table.
kind of put me on a spot there. Yeah, so thanks for spotlighting that. So I started my own business in February. It's called Indigeducation, and it's working with youth and empowering youth through teaching them coping skills and just educating them more about mental health and just ways to express themselves and why that's important, but also like implementing that into like youth programming, things they like to do. So for example, we're going to be having a youth men's talking circle soon, where the men can come and just kind of express themselves and talk about some of the challenges and things they're going through, but also learning ways to cope and also working with grade schoolers and doing some what is called SEL, social emotional learning curriculum, and then also that kind of helps them learn emotional regulation, why it's important to express our emotions and things like that. So freshly new business, going great, and always looking for partnerships, but so right now just working on some youth programming, and there's always going to be a mental health piece and component into all services that I do.
I love it. Well, congratulations, Mackie.
Thank
I'm
you.
a big supporter, and thank you for coming on today to kind of relay some of that, those efforts that are for the youth. And before we conclude this portion, do you have any shout out?
Let's see here. I guess just shout out to Winnebago Public Schools, just with this new venture, been really partnering with them closely and seeing the work that they do, but also the challenges that they go through too, and just trying to make things happen. So a big shout out to all their staff, teachers, and administration. I know they do a lot of good work, and sometimes it's a thankless job, you know what I mean? So they do a lot of good work, though. I just want to make sure they're highlighted and known for that.
Nice. Okay. Well, thank you for coming on today. And again, you have any other announcements to share, definitely come back. But it's always a joy to see you. So
thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I will see you soon.
see ya. All right. So kind of shift gears again. And then I did not get to relay the programming that we have on Friday. So we have the big hour, which is over the noon hour, but we also have a replay with DJ Blue for the Friday Night Hot Mix. He has lots of awesome mixes that we get into. We'll play different ones on each Friday, 7 to 10 p.m. And then we have the brainchild behind Midnight Love.
Yes, absolutely. Midnight Love. The last episode we did was episode 41, which was Decades of Love, Volume 1. And that's going to be kind of its own little mini-series within the entire series, if you will, because we started off in the 1960s, worked our way through the 70s, and then ended up in the 80s, and it's going to continue on to move forward in the timeline. So Volume 2 is coming, and that's going to start us off where we left off and take us forward.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to that one. You had a lot of awesome songs in that first.
Yeah, we did a lot. And we really dug into the crates as well. It wasn't just kind of the typical songs and whatever. But to that point, there was a song in there, of course. We played it a few times on Midnight Love, and then I think it maybe even made ARL at one point. But it's Love Hurts by Nazareth.
Okay.
You know that guy's voice. Do you know it, Tyler? Okay, sing. I'll sing a part of it. No, just kidding. Anyway, but he's got a very I'd call it a rock voice. You know, a little bit kind of, you know how Axl Rose's voice is kind of, you know, it's kind of like that. But Love Hurts and whatever. A lot of people don't realize that song was not originally made by them because, of course, they blew it up in the 1970s. I mean, that song was everywhere and it lives on even to today.
Yep.
But that song was originally done by the Everly Brothers in the 1950s.
Okay.
Yeah, so when you hear the rock version of Nazareth, Love Hurts, it's like, oh my God, I can't live anymore, and whatever, you know, that kind of thing. And then you turn around, you hear the original by the Everly Brothers from their, you know, basically a duet from the 50s, and it's all like, you know, that kind of stuff. It's like, oh my God, that's Love Hurts. And it's like, yeah, it is.
Kind of put his own little spin on it.
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy.
That happens a lot with music. You know, like how Dolly Parton made then Whitney Houston took it. What song is that?
I Will Always Love You, which is 50 years old today.
And then even Elvis wanted to have that song, and it would have never worked for him, you know what I mean? It was like how it worked for Whitney.
Yeah, somewhat, yeah. But I know exactly what you're saying. The remakes and the artists who originally do them, it's kind of crazy the way that the pathways that they take. Because especially, you know, we could really go off on this subject, guys, but it's about where the original didn't do much, then somebody else took it and then blew up and became this whole new thing. So
was it meant to be?
Yep, exactly.
So, talking music, tomorrow we have a new episode of The Big Hour.
Yes.
Would you be able to?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yep.
MCBKC will be in here next week. Next week.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Tomorrow, Wednesday.
Yep. So the Big Hour, of course, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I always like to say this, where one of the DJs here takes you down the path of musical righteousness. And that's what we always do. So tomorrow I'll take the helm. And then at some point, DJ Bethany and I, we are going to do a live request show together. So, you know, you guys can call in and say, I want to hear this. But if it's not radio friendly, you're kicked to the curb, baby. Yes. And it's like, so, you know, I want to hear Two Live Crew. Sorry. No,
we have it, but I'm sorry.
Know me, love you, long time. Nothing like that in there. So you know what we're saying. All right. So. And the answer is?
The answer is ready? Because usually, this portion we get towards the concluding. We'll get into the this day in history with Angel Decor Museum, but those ladies are so busy. So
no worries.
We'll scoot right into my answer is.
Okay, so I'm going to ask one of the older questions, and if you guys remember it, tell me. Then I'll skip to the newer ones. Okay. So the question was, in the classic adventure movie Raiders of the Lost Ark, Harrison Ford plays the lead role of Indiana Jones. Which actor was originally set to play the role? Do you remember that question?
No.
Okay, because I think maybe I was discussing it then with Guaranteed. Because I'm trying to remember. Did I already ask these questions?
Because that last time he asked these questions, remember they were fairly hard.
Okay. Well,
they're always hard.
They can't. Well, they'll take you in a different place. I like to say it that way. So that's the first question, and there is multiple choice, but. How are we going to do this? Because you guys are together.
I got the lifeline, so I just want to put that out there.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's the question. Should I ask it again?
Yeah.
Okay. In the classic adventure movie Raiders of the Lost Ark, Harrison Ford plays the lead role of Indiana Jones. Which actor was originally set to play that role?
Okay. You said there's multiple choice?
There is.
Can we get those?
Okay, hold on. I'm going to try to keep score here. That? Okay, so the multiple choice answers are Aidan Quinn, Sean Connery, or Tom Selleck.
Ooh. No, I don't know why Tom Selleck just sounded right. I'm going to say that.
Tom Selleck?
Yeah.
Wait, what, that middle one?
So there was Aidan Quinn, Sean Connery, or Tom Selleck.
I'm gonna go with Sean.
Sean Connery?
Yeah.
Okay. And the answer is Tom Selleck.
Ah.
And
it just sounded right.
Yes, and the only reason Tom didn't take the role is because at the same time he was beginning to star in Magnum P.I., and that TV series blew up. He no longer had the free schedule.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, booked and busy, that's right. Okay, so the next question that we have then, we'll have to keep score here a little bit, okay? Nicki Minaj recently sampled Heart of Glass by Blondie. Who was the lead singer for Blondie? And there's multiple choice there as well.
Can we hear it?
Nicki Minaj? Well, DJ Bethany actually played it on ARL several times, and so did I on the Res ride. So, but Nicki Minaj recently sampled the song Heart of Glass by Blondie. Who is the lead singer for Blondie?
Roll out the choices.
Okay, so the choices are, it was Paula Abdul, Patti LaBelle, Grace Slick, or Debbie Harry.
Patti LaBelle.
Patti LaBelle, says Tyler. Okay,
What'd you say, Debbie? And then
so Paula Abdul, Patti LaBelle, Grace Slick, or Debbie Harry.
dang it, it's Debbie or it's the other girl? Great. I'm gonna go.
The way she's counting.
The Debbie.
Debbie Harry?
Yeah.
And the answer is Debbie Harry.
Ah,
Yes.
she's so hairy. I
Not
thought Paula
quite.
Abdul was too
A little too young?
no, I don't know. I'm trying to
She
say.
was on. Well, she featured on like some kind of show.
Well,
She was
Paula
like-
Abdul was originally, of course, an LA cheerleader, and then she became she was a choreographer. She actually choreographed the dance scene in Coming to America when the bride is being introduced to Eddie Murphy, and they're like those African dancers. That's Paula Abdul.
Oh, okay.
She also choreographed several of Janet Jackson's early
That's
videos
where,
from
yeah.
Control, including "What Have You Done for Me." Oh, maybe we can't say that, but whatever. I know we're talking about music here, but anyway, so yeah, Paula Abdul. And then Patti LaBelle, of course, was lead singer for Patti LaBelle and the Bluebells. Grace Slick was the original lead singer for Starship or Jefferson Airplane, depending on which era you're in. So Debbie Harry, of course.
The more you know.
Yes. Okay. The next question that we have then is the gold brick, the golden box, aka Kamad cheese. What kind of cheese is it classified as?
Cheddar.
Cheddar, says Tyler. There's multiple choice here as well.
Okay, let's hear it. You're confident.
But cheddar, Colby, Gouda,
What?
or American processed.
American
for
processed.
sure.
Okay. So both say American, and
Gouda.
you are both correct.
What's
You're
Gouda?
confident cheddar.
It's a just different type of cheese. I don't care for it.
Mm.
It's kind of got a weird, like almost like musty flavor. I'm like,
Isn't it, like real light.
I don't think so. Well, color-wise, yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
color-wise.
yeah. But no, I think it's kind of. Some people love it though. It's just not one of my favorites.
I don't like blue cheese. It's
Gouda.
like-
I don't
I
like
don't
blue cheese
either.
either.
Mold
No, it's
cheese,
I don't need
nothing.
mold
Yeah.
in my salad.
Yeah.
So, okay. So then, the next question that we have
Blue cheese
then.
slander.
I know, right? So, Paris Hilton is a one-hit wonder.
It's
Of
true.
course, you're known
She's an
for
icon.
being on, what was it, The Simple Life and so many other reality TV shows. But she was also a singer known as a one-hit wonder. What was the name of the single that she released as that one-hit wonder? And I have multiple choice as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take that multiple choice.
Is it If You Seek Amy? Do You Think I'm Sexy? Or The Stars Are Blind?
Dang, I didn't know she made a song, to be honest. I always just I knew she
Yeah,
was
and
the
it's
heiress
actually pretty
and all
good.
that.
I hate to say
That
it.
scent,
It's a yeah.
her
She
perfume.
Yep, she's a perfume, fashion, all that other kind of stuff.
I'm gonna do C.
See, so Stars Are Blind.
No. Doesn't.
No.
She doesn't want to say it.
Do you think I'm Do you think I'm sexy?
Yeah.
Okay. Do
I'm
you
gonna go with that one too.
both of you?
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
And you're both wrong. It's
Oh.
Stars Are Blind.
Dang.
It's got a very reggae vibe to it, and it's a guilty pleasure. But I gotta say, it's
I gotta
good.
listen. I've never heard
Yes,
it.
it's good. It's actually a good song. So we're tied 2-2, guys. Okay, so then the next question we have is Robert Kardashian was part of the defense team for O.J. Simpson in his murder trial of Nicole Simpson. Along with Johnny Cochran, Who was the lead prosecutor? So Robert Kardashian, Johnny Cochran, and a slew of other famous attorneys defended O.J. Simpson. Who was the lead prosecutor? And of course, I have multiple choice.
We'll take it.
Okay.
Roll it out.
Was it Gloria Allred, Star Jones, Marky Post, or Marsha Clark?
Marsha Clark.
Marsha Clark. Okay, both of you say that.
Sounds right.
And you are correct. Both of you are correct. So we're still tied 3-3. Okay. Now we're going to get, I guess we'll have to break the tie.
Wait, real quick. Did you guys watch that thing that they put out? I think it was on Netflix.
I seen some of it, yeah. Not all of it, but some of it. It was pretty good. The lady that they picked to play Marsha Clark, I thought she did a good job. I can't remember her name. She was a famous actress too.
No, I gotta look.
But she did a
Just
good
gonna
job.
watch
I
it
know.
for me.
So, okay. So here we are then we're going to get into the tiebreakers.
Okay.
What is the highest mountain in Africa? And I have multiple choice. Is it Mount McKinley, Mount Evans, Mount Kilimanjaro, or Mount Fuji?
Is it Fuji like in Japan or something?
I'm gonna go C.
I'm gonna use my lifeline. A big cheater.
Is there? Okay, so who are you going to ask?
Someone in the comments.
Is there someone in the comments?
Someone out there.
Yes. What is the highest mountain in Africa? And you said
C.
Kilimanjaro. Okay.
Kilimanjaro.
Is there anyone there? Or?
Come on.
So again,
Cisco.
Okay, what did he said?
Bucket list.
Bucket list, Kilimanjaro.
I'm gonna have to go with it.
Okay, so
Shout out to Cisco the
yes.
kid.
And you are both correct. Mount
Yay.
Kilimanjaro is the highest peak
Damn it, I
in
wasted
the on the continent of Africa. Okay. Oh my gosh, we're getting into these questions here. Last night was the Oscars. Or
Was
excuse me,
it?
Sunday
Oh,
was the
okay.
Oscars. Which movie won Best Picture of the year?
Oppenheimer.
Oh, this one had everyone upset.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Oppenheimer.
Both of you say Oppenheimer.
Oh,
Okay. And the answer is Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
Okay.
I've been saying it like that
We got to
this
make
whole
these
time.
harder. We have to, I guess, break the tie.
Yes.
Okay. Rockwell, the son of legendary music producer Berry Gordy, sang the 80s song Somebody's Watching Me. Who famously sang the chorus in the background for Rockwell?
Is that Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson says Bethany. Think of the 80s.
Oh,
Chill.
I probably got it wrong.
I don't know anybody.
I'm just thinking there. So the reason why I say that is like I heard this TikTok. Remember Peanut?
Yeah.
There was a TikTok sound that was going on. It was like it was around Halloween time. It was like somebody's watching or whatever.
Oh.
And then it was Michael Jackson that was singing it though.
Okay.
So that's.
Are you going to go with her or go out on your own?
I'm gonna go with her because I don't know nobody.
And the tie remains, yes, it was, of course, famously
Yes.
Michael Jackson. Okay, so
Stop it,
the next one that we have, these got to get harder and harder, okay? Recently, of course, the Winnebago Tribal Council leadership went to Washington, D.C., pushing forward for the land back issue, speaking to the representatives and the senators in Congress regarding the matter. Who is the senior senator for the state of Iowa?
That is a good
There's
one.
multiple choice, or should I let you hang?
I need it.
Is it Tom Vilsack? Is it Kim Reynolds? Or is it Charles Grassley?
Kim Reynolds.
Kim Reynolds says Tyler.
Tom.
Tom Vilsack? And you're both wrong. It is Chuck
Dang.
Grassley. Oh my gosh. Well, by the same token, also the land is in Iowa. Who is the senior senator for the state of Nebraska?
Senior senator.
Yes, there's a senior and a junior. The senior refers to the person who's been there the longest. So, is it Senator Mike Flood? Is it Senator D.B. Sweeney? Or is it Senator Deb Fisher?
Deb Fisher.
Deb Fisher, says Tyler.
I'm gonna say Deb Fisher as well.
Okay, and you're both correct. It is Deb Fisher.
I've
She
heard that
is
before.
the senior senator, yes. And recently, of course, elected, or I should say appointed, the junior senator is former governor, Mike, what is his first name? Ricketts. Pete Ricketts.
Yeah.
Sorry, forgot his name.
Pete.
Pete Ricketts. Okay, guys. Now we got to get into this because we need to break the tie. Made famous by the television show in the black and white era, Lassie was a dog that starred in that show. What breed of dog was Lassie? No multiple choice.
Labrador.
Labrador, says
Lassie.
Tyler.
Was she a
Oh no.
golden retriever?
Golden Retriever, says Tyler. Or excuse me, says Bethany. Are you going to stick with it, Labrador?
I thought it was saying golden retriever. I don't know the difference.
Wow. I'm not the veterinarian here either, but they do have different names. So, what breed of dog was
I'm gonna
Lassie?
stay with Labrador.
Labrador and Golden Retriever, and unfortunately, you're both wrong. Lassie was a collie.
Oh,
I love border collies.
Yes,
They're
she
so
was
smart.
she was a collie, a regular collie. Oh my gosh! Now, all right, guys, we're digging deep here in all these questions. Name any original album by Prince except Purple Rain, and no greatest hits. That's what I mean by original. So greatest hits volume 1, that's not gonna work. So any album by Prince except Purple Rain.
dang. I'm just gonna take a wild whack at it.
Okay.
Exotica.
Exotica. Okay.
I'm gonna say diamonds.
Diamonds. No, those are both wrong, guys. Oh my gosh, I know there's so many things there.
They both sound like they could fit too.
We got to break the tie here somehow, guys, because
Oh,
that
man.
exhausted my questions. That was how many? That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
27.
10, 11. I had 11 prepared questions. So
It went from 5 to
I know.
11.
I know, right? Okay, the next one that I have then is
That thing that says 5 questions, one winner.
I know, right? Okay. So the first question we asked was regarding the classic adventure movie Raiders of the Lost Ark, starring Harrison Ford. Who wrote the soundtrack for that movie?
Oh, wait, say it again.
We're talking about the movie Raiders of the Lost Ark, starring Harrison Ford. Who wrote the soundtrack for that movie?
Multiple choice.
Multiple choice? Was it Howard Shore? Was it James Iovine? Or was it John Williams?
I'm gonna say John Williams.
I'm gonna say C.
The same thing?
Oh. Yeah.
Yep, and you guys are correct in that. So then we're going to stay with this movie. No multiple choice, because we need to break the tie. Who was that movie's director?
Damn.
I can't think of nobody.
Michael Conaway.
Michael Conaway.
You know who that is.
I have no idea either.
I can't think of nobody. Steven Spielberg.
That's correct.
Oh,
Yes.
are you serious?
Ding! Yeah, so on the extended cut of the answer is DJ Bethany comes away with the winner. Steven Spielberg, yes, was the director of Raiders
That
of the
was
Lost
hard-earned
Ark.
right there.
I know, you deserved it. Somebody buy her a Coke. No.
Buy me a Red Bull.
No, she's gonna say that.
Oh, geez,
Good
that made
job,
me
guys.
cry.
Man, made me exhaust my questions. Even had to come up with a few others on the fly. But yeah, if you have a chance, listen to Paris Hilton's cut, Stars Are Blind. It's catchy. It's very, she's not
Yeah.
Whitney Houston. Don't think it's going to be that. Don't. But it gets in your ear.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah. So, okay.
Wow, thank you for the nice laugh, the pick me up today, because I needed that, man. for
right.
us.
Yep, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Wow,
So-
before we close out our show today, so we had the Public Health Nursing Department. We had Sandy, Jordan, and Melanie stop up. They'll be back next week with some more important announcements from the hospital. We also had Tyler relay some of the updates with the W.I.N, and then we had Sandy, Mackie, Scott pop in for some youth updates.
Yeah.
And then, so if you have any shout outs?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know how far you went into it with Winnebago Indian News, Tyler, but if I'm repeating something, sorry about that. But as you guys may have noticed, on the masthead of the Winnebago Indian News, we are featuring prominent tribal members, tribal leaders, tribal people. They don't necessarily have to be council members, guys. Don't think it's that. People who had an impact on the people of our tribe. And so we have been graciously allowed permission by the family members, because some of them have passed, and it is our intent to feature these people who had an impact on the lives of our tribal membership, people who were in leadership roles of some sort, because remember we opened the door with Mr. Frank Lemire, and so he was an advocate for tribal people everywhere, not just the Winnebago tribe. Now, of course, as a tribal member, he was wholly devoted, to our people, but he really made that reach worldwide. And so if you have a tribal member or a family member that you want to basically have us feature on the masthead, get a hold of us. My email is brian.chamberlain@winnebagotribe.com or tyler.snake@winnebagotribe.com, and send us your permission and a good photo, and we will certainly get them up. And even if we don't know who they are, because I don't know everyone, give us a little blurb about what their life stood for, and then we will definitely help feature them on the masthead, because it's really important for us guys to showcase the leaders of our tribe and the people who lifted us to this point in order to inspire the future generations. So
Definitely.
Yep, the Winnebago Indian News will have a new issue coming this Saturday, and we will also have a new masthead photo for that as well. But there was all kinds of stuff there, so we're glad you guys keep on reading.
Definitely. All right, thank you to MCBKC. Any shout outs?
Oh, you're ready to roll. I want to shout out facilities. I think I did last time, but you know what? I'm going to shout you out again. They helped us with a lot of stuff in our office during our mini remodel, so it's just, nice for being a helping hand.
Right.
Definitely.
Making time.
It looks
Yes,
really
indeed.
beautiful down there as well.
Yeah.
You guys did an awesome job with your renovations.
Yes.
So I just want to send a quick shout out to my niece Catalina. She has a birthday coming up on the 18th, and yeah, that's my shout out for today. So
Happy early birthday.
Good job. And good luck, AHEC, if they didn't already win it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shout out to all those up there at the AHEC 2024. Bring
Yes.
home some gold.
Yes.
Thank you all for tuning
Go
in.
break.
Once sweet and caring, now cold and calculated. You can't be trusted. You want the world for your